One thing that I truly desire for all of us collectively on our respective paths is to come to a place where we've released any invalidating energy, any stress, strain, or difficulty when it comes to the names of our spirit guides. We're going to talk more about that in today's video. My name is Christine. I'm a formally trained psychic reader and healer, as well as a psychic development teacher, a trance medium, and a musician. You can find out more about me and my services on my website, which is kyanitepsychic.com. I know I've experienced this on my path, and many of the clients and students I work with have too. That invalidating energy surrounding what are the names of my guides? Who am I working with? Right? It can show up as, is that the name? Really? Are you sure? Did I get it right? Or why can't I get it? What is the name? Why can't I get the name? Right? It kind of shows up in one of those two camps. So the first thing that I want to say is you can absolutely work with a guide or guides without knowing their name. Names are one way of categorizing a being or who you're working with, one way of setting intention to work with them, one way of identifying them, one way, right? Not the only way. Think about it interpersonally. You can have a conversation with someone and not know their name, right? You can work with someone and not know their name. You can run into someone, have a whole conversation with them, and remember the context of all the times you've worked together or interacted in the past. And you could have forgotten their name, and it's okay. It's all good, right? We've all had full on in-depth conversations and interactions with people where we don't know their name yet. So the same thing with spirit, with our guides, with non-physical beings. You don't need to know their name. And really, names are more of an earthly human thing than a non-physical being thing, right? So when you are working with a guide, when you first meet a guide, sometimes you might find that the name comes to you immediately, like that, right? And if that's the case, validate it. Whatever it is, validate it. You might find that you just get a letter or a syllable or vowels sound, right? Just let that be. Write it down, keep it in your consciousness, and just let it marinate, right? You might also find that the name comes to you randomly out of the blue while you're doing something mundane, right? For example, you're reading a book and they're talking about a character, the name comes up, and as your eyes scan it, your awareness goes, ding, that's the name of my guide, right? So just validate it. That's one way that you can find out their name. And it might just be too that you're working with a guide that doesn't have a name that translates into human language, any of the languages here on Earth. That's okay. Your experience is still valid. Another thing to address, a lot of the time, and this has definitely happened to me in my path, you start working with a guide and the name they give you is the name of a being that works with many, whether it's a saint, an ascended master, an archangel. And you're sitting there thinking, wait, no, it can't be. That's not right. Who am I to work with this being? Well, flip that around. You are exactly the one to be working with this being. So if you receive a name that is very familiar to you, absolutely validate it and start to form your own unique relationship with that being. Because there are ascended masters, angels, deities, right? Other beings that work with many, and you can absolutely be one of the many. There's no reason why not. So moving forward, if you find yourself in a space where that energy of invalidation, doubt, stress creeps in, the best thing to do is name it. Realize that you're in that energy and just kind of laugh it off. You can start to laugh at yourself even because laughter is a really powerful tool to help shift energy and to clear resistance. So just laugh it off, name it, and perhaps just get grounded and start to set the intention to release resistance and then continue interacting with that guide. It's not beneficial necessarily to keep pushing. I need the name now. I need it now. I need it now. Because the reality is you actually don't. You don't need it right now. It will come to you at the right time if there is a time for that. Right? So working with our guides, we do not need to be in the energy of struggle when it comes to communicating with them. And absolutely, you can choose the energy that you bring to every interaction and experience. So I hope that this little discussion today has been helpful to you. I hope it helps you feeling empowered. And I hope that you go forth and just validate the experiences that you're having and congratulate yourself for boldly walking your unique and beautiful spiritual path. If you want to learn more about working with your guides, I have some resources, some classes, workshops, meditations. I'll link that below. And if you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe to my channel. I love sharing regular videos and meditations with you all. Thanks for being here with me today, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next video.